Hey everyone, welcome to our small footprint. My name is Nyssa, and if you're new here, we are a family of 8 who live off-grid in Australia. Today's video is one that people love to hate, or hate to love, whichever way you want to look at it, and is the grocery haul. So, we always get a lot of new people coming in for grocery haul videos, so I'm going to run through a little bit of my spiel just to let everyone know. As I said, family of 8, live off-grid. I travel about 3.5 hours to do my groceries every 6-ish weeks. We do vary the timeline sometimes depending on the occasions. We did a couple of 4-week ones over Christmas, and I probably should have shifted this one actually because it turns out that Friday was a public holiday for Australia Day and I didn't realise, which meant that Costco was closed and we had to shuffle things, and I did Costco on a Saturday, which I hate doing. A lot of wasted time in lines and stuff doing a Costco on a Saturday. So about every 6 weeks though is what we plan for and what we budget through. As I said, I travel about 3.5 hours away. There is shops closer to me. There is Toowoomba about an hour and a half away, and when we first moved out here I did shop in Toowoomba. I shopped about every fortnight, went the hour and a half, the 3-hour return trip to Toowoomba, but it was costing too much. There's Coles and Woolworths there, there's Aldi, and there's some fruit and veg, but none that I managed to get a particularly good rapport going with, and no significantly cheap butchers that I could find either for what we were looking for. I'm sure there's plenty there that work for other people, but for us it wasn't working, and I was spending far too much on groceries. So then I sat there and went, well, maybe I should go to Costco as well. Costco's only an extra sort of, hour down the mountain. Maybe I just do Costco as well on the same day. But that ended up being a really long day. So then we decided that, hang on, maybe I should do an overnight stay and go to Mum's. And then that sort of ended up being a 2-night stay to make time right, and I now go to Coles, Woolworths, Aldi, Kmart, Bunnings, and do a really big run of all the different stores in one day, and then Costco, fruit and veg, and butchers on the next. And we found a great fruit and veg who I have a great relationship with and really enjoy shopping at, and the butcher beside it is really good too. So that's Mega Fresh and Mega Meats at Browns Plains, which I tag all the time around, that's where I go. So I now leave on a Wednesday afternoon, spend Wednesday and Thursday night, and come back on Friday afternoon is how we do it. By doing this, we've saved a lot of money on our groceries. We've changed the way we eat a little bit because we only go every 6 weeks. I always get questions about how do we make the fresh fruit and vegetable last and stuff, and well, realistically, we don't. We use it fresh initially, and then we preserve it or freeze it or prepare it in such a way that it can be eaten later in the month from whatever purpose. So like fruit, if we have an excess of fruit, it'll either get turned into jams or pureed fruits, or it'll just be frozen in chunks and the kids eat it straight out of the freezer, or turned into smoothie pops or ice creams or all that sort of thing. Apples will give us a good 4 to 6 weeks depending on the season, how good the apples are when we get them and how well we store them. Cabbages can quite often last the 6 weeks, and potatoes will give us 4 to 6 weeks depending on the weather and how we store them as well. Carrots as well are another that lasts sort of the 4 to 6 weeks, so long as we store them appropriately and they don't get too hot before they get into the fridges too. Other than that, everything else is pretty much used fresh, or we don't have it at the end of the month, or it's frozen. So we buy frozen vegetables as well. I buy bags of frozen vegetables. We use them at the end of the month. I prefer fresh, but frozen is okay. So that's just what we do. So we always buy frozen vegetables. We tend to eat them at the end of the month rather than the beginning, and we try not to buy anything in excess that we're not going to be able to use. So things like broccoli and cauliflower, I tend not to buy excessive amounts. We just enjoy them in the first week. Broccoli though, in the cooler weather we will buy. It lasts quite well, but I'm not real keen on having to blanch it and freeze it and things like that. It sort of counteracts the cost savings when you're doing that yourself. You may as well just buy the frozen stuff bagged. So there's a little bit of a toss up there in those different things. So what we aim to do with our 6-weekly shop is use everything as well as we can. Make sure there's as minimal waste as possible and that everything gets used in a timely manner so that nothing goes bad. So what I do is I tend to do videos after the grocery shop every couple of days, and there'll be the videos of the daily work that we do once we do the 6-week grocery haul to show you what I'm doing with all that food to make sure that it gets used, which is one of the favorite videos that I put out. Is those, they used to be daily and now I do them sort of every couple of days just because the workload got a bit high. It might vary in winter though. Maybe it's easier in winter to do them daily, and that's why they were, and then they jumped to every couple of days. I don't know, we'll see how we go. But I was really slack last month and did barely any. I do have some old footage that I'm going to put into some videos as well, but we're going to start fresh with this new month's grocery shop. So what I'll do is I'll show you the groceries, we'll go through the groceries, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you how much everything cost and how it broke down. So this is the groceries. Now it is Monday morning at the moment. I was a bit slack and I got home Saturday and I haven't done this until now, but it's Monday morning, so this was Saturday when we got the groceries out and show it all off. So have a look at what we got and then I'll come back and I will tell you how much we spent on everything. Alrighty, so first table. Anyone who's been around before knows that we go through a few different tables to get all the stuff set out. So, what did we get this month? We got hot dog rolls because we have hot dogs for dinner on grocery day. That's what we do every grocery trip. Darryl cooks dinner on grocery day and we have hot dogs for dinner. I got 6 packs of rice cakes. We already have some left in the cupboard, so this is just an extra box. I got some baby wipes. I got this packet of these are really nice if you haven't tried these sweet corn turtle chips. I actually bought 2 packets, and 1 packet I ate part of on my drive home as my snack, and Darryl's having some of them now, and that's to share with everyone else. I got some microfiber cloths. I just really needed some. These were a 20 pack. They were $14.95 I think at Costco, so quite a good price. Some 9-volt batteries. We used these for a couple of things. Darryl's tuner on his guitar, the sprayer for the insect spray and things like that, so we just needed some of those. I got some laundry sanitizer, the Pantry brand, which was cheaper than they had Canaston as well, and a Dettol brand. This one I think was $5 something per 100 mils, and the Canaston was like $9 something, and the Dettol was slightly more than that, even on special I think. So I got the Pantry one and the laundry liquid. So this laundry liquid we tried for the first time last month and it works really well. We're really happy with it. Nobody's had any problems with eczema. We are going through it a bit quicker than I would like, so I'm going to decant some into a pump bottle or something so that we can control the amount that's going in per wash. I got some rice bubbles and some Weet-Bix. There is a leftover cornflakes in the cupboard still. I checked that on the inventory. Obviously, they've gone off cornflakes for a bit, so we have plenty of cornflakes, so I didn't need those. We have some of the flour tortillas. I bought some beef short ribs. You'll see them at some point, and I'm going to do some birria with them, so I bought those for that. And then the standard tortillas that I buy every month. So these are 3 packs of 12 tortillas for about $8.39. So they're a really good price, really easy to have in the crates for the kids to use when I haven't made bread of any sort. I got some dish detergent. We use this dish detergent from Aldi. I like the smell of it, green tea and lime, and nobody has any issues with rashes on the hands with this one, so this is the one I buy. Some ketchup. I buy 1 lot of ketchup each month, and I think we still have some left, to be honest, but 1 pack of these because we use them with the hot dogs for dinner. I always buy some of the honey from Aldi, and I think it's $1, I want to say like $1.15 per 100, because Costco doesn't always have their honey. Now this honey is only $9.95 for the kilo, so it's a really good price, but yeah, they don't always have it, so I generally buy some from Aldi just in case initially. I got some blueberry jam. I haven't bought this the last couple of shopping trips, but I haven't managed to score any cheap berries or anything this year so far, so I bought some blueberry jam for the kids. I got one of the Maggi rich gravies, a Kirkland's coconut oil. You can see how hot it is at the moment because it's completely melted. A peanut butter, oyster sauce, a Vegeta, and a soy sauce. I also got 12 of the basil pesto from Aldi. The Zuper Dupers, I bought them a couple of shopping trips ago, and I wasn't going to buy them again because the kids just go through them too quickly and it annoys me. But they were $7 off, so it was $20 for the box, so I grabbed that, and it has been so hot, and we like them too, not just the kids. It's just that they just seem to go through them so quickly. Olive oil, the one that we like from Kirkland. Now Aldi had absolutely none of their 1 litre olive oils that I normally buy as an addition to the Kirkland stuff, so I've been using the Aldi stuff for things like marinades and cooking and that, and using this purely for mayo. But Aldi didn't have, I went to 2 different Aldis and there was not a single 1 litre olive oil on a shelf, so that was a bit annoying. I got this canola oil. Now I normally buy the cold pressed, I think it's the same brand, vegetable oil, but they didn't have any of that. Now standing there going, I know that canola oil's got a bad reputation, I couldn't remember why, so I googled it, and on the first page of Google basically it says that canola oil is quite often, it's used chemicals to manufacture it, which is why it's not so great. But on that it also said that cold pressed canola oil doesn't use any of that, but it's hard to find and it's expensive. Well, this was cheap. It was the same price as the vegetable oil, $11 I think for the 4 litres, and it says it's cold pressed, so we'll give it a go. Maybe it's not Australia that it's hard to get, I'm not sure. I bought a pack of croissants just as a treat. This isn't something that I normally buy, but we really like croissants, and ham and cheese croissants for breakfast sounds really nice. So they're $11.99 for a 12 pack of those. I got some dried spaghetti, a dozen of them. It was the only dried pasta that we really needed. We've got spirals and macaroni and things like that, so just the spaghetti was all that we were really short on. I got a maple syrup and some nutritional yeast flakes. I badly need to buy these in bulk. They're a whole lot cheaper through Honest to Goodness in bulk, but I haven't done that yet. So I got some slivered almonds. I buy these slivered almonds instead of the whole almonds. They're slightly more expensive. Whole almonds at Aldi, at Costco are about $12 a kilo. These are about $15. But for things like granola, it's nice to have that really even sized mix in for it, and that's pretty much all I use it for, is the granola and things like that, where you just have the same size. And I use the full in-skin raw almonds for grinding up for anything and that sort of thing. I ended up with, 29 tins of coconut cream. I could only get 1 tray and a few spare at the first Aldi I went to, and then I grabbed a second tray at the second Aldi, and I got 2 trays of the corn kernels as well. I grabbed some udon noodles. Now there must be some more groceries in one of the Eskies somewhere, so we'll see them in a minute, but Coles only had like 3 packets of the branded udon noodles that I normally buy from them, so I saw these at Aldi and thought we'd give them a go, see if we like these the same as the ones that we get from Coles. I got some nori for sushi. I got a couple of golden pash of this cordial. So last month it was half price, and I bought half a dozen of them for over Christmas and summer, and it was really nice having it in the house. It wasn't quite half price, but it was on sale, so I grabbed a couple of those. Some arborio rice for risottos. We've run out. A Dijon mustard, a couple of vanilla essences. I bought this at Aldi because I wasn't sure what the price was at Costco, and I did check at Costco and they are pretty much the same price, but Costco is a really large bottle, so that's nice to know for next time. I got Kavik's favourite request every time we do Costco, the dehydrated veggie crisps. I got some almond flour. Again, there's a couple of things that I bake that the really fine blanched almond flour works so much better than grinding my own almonds, so I buy that every few months just for those things. The basmati rice was half price at Coles, so it was $11.50 for the bag. I think that's right, for the 5 kilo bag, and it's a good rice. I got 25 kilos of the baker's flour, and I got the 10 kilos of the fine sea salt. I also bought our coconut milk that we use for our hot coffee. I got 3 of those because we actually had one go bad. It mustn't have been rotated appropriately and it went out of date. I also got a bunch of rice milk. So I went to 2 different Aldis, so I bought rice milk from each place, and I think I ended up with 48 all up of the rice milk. So a decent amount for this month. Alrighty, second table full. I forgot to mention we got 2 lots of toilet paper. I got 3 lots of zucchini from Costco, the fruit and veg store had a box of zucchini and it was slightly cheaper, it was $3 a kilo, but it was 10 kilos, and in this heat I just didn't know whether we'd get through it, so it was $4.69 a kilo at Costco and I just went with that. I bought potatoes. I tend to buy these from Costco as well, just so they're not sitting in the car while I'm at Costco. The little red ones end up being about $2 a kilo, and the big white ones end up being about $1.60 a kilo. Same with carrots, so that I don't have to sit them in the car while I'm waiting. They're much the same price as buying them from the fruit and veg store, so I buy them from Costco. I got 4 cabbages from the fruit and veg store. Now, cabbages are not in season, so they were $5 each and they're not very big, but we use cabbage in so many things that I hate not having it, so I grabbed them regardless. A celery for stock and things like that. A pack of lettuce from Costco as well. I got a bag from the butcher. They had frozen chicken legs, so they were a 12 kilo box for $40, which works out about $3.33 per kilo. Now, it's not real cheap. I sat there and went, it's not real cheap, except that the full price of chicken legs is huge compared to what it was. They're $6.99 a kilo now, full price. So $3.30 is actually less than half price. So I grabbed the 12 kilo bag. We will vacuum seal them up into meal size portions to go in the freezer. I grabbed just some broccoli from Costco. It's not cheap at the moment. I think it ends up being like $9 a kilo. It's a beginning of the month splurge. Beans the same, they're not very cheap, but we just buy these for those beginning of the month stir fries and things like that. I got some beef short ribs. They were on sale for $14.99. I'm going to use these to make birria. Grabbed some of the Grana Padano grated cheese. I like to use this in mac and cheese and things like that, and I've started using just a small portion of it in the dairy-free cheese sauces that I make, just to give them a bit more of a cheese flavour, and everyone seems to be tolerating that, just a little bit of that in there, so that's nice. I grabbed some ham from Costco. This was on special for $10 for the pack, so it's about $11 a kilo. I also got ham from the butcher though, and it was on special for $7 a kilo. So I got 2 of these from the butcher, and I'll have to bag some up and freeze it so that it lasts for the couple of weeks that this will last. But then I grabbed these as well because the use by dates in these are in March, so they can just sit in the back of in the bottom of the cold chest fridge to be used after these have been used up. I got some of the salami that we use for pizza. I got a bag of cucumbers. This was only $10 for the bag of cucumbers. I bought our normal hot dog sausages that I buy, and these ones are the Filipino style chicken and pork ones, but they also had these American style smoky skinless hot dogs. These are a beef one that I decided to buy as the second lot. I always buy 2 lots, so I grabbed those as the second. Bacon was on special at the butcher as well. It was $2.99 a kilo for the bacon pieces, which I use in cooking and things like that. But they also had a middle bacon for $25 for 2.5 kilo bags, so $10 a kilo, which is pretty cheap as well. So I will split that up and freeze some of that as well. I bought 2 bags of that. We haven't had bacon much lately because it just hasn't been cheap. I bought 4 of the chicken thighs at $11.29 a kilo, the just over 2 kilo packets, and 2 of the breasts. Now the breasts have gone down in price again. They're $9.89 a kilo, but I really prefer thighs, so I got 2 of the breasts, 4 of the thighs. I actually also bought these from Coles when I was in there. They were on clearance. Let's see if there's for some reason this isn't. There we go, focusing back. On clearance, it was only $2 off, but it's $11.05, and it's a kilo worth of boneless marinated chicken. Now, it was on clearance because it's best before today, so I'm just going to stick it straight in the freezer. I got 2 of them, but they will be really good for later on in the month when we've worked through a lot of the fresh stuff, that to have this marinated chicken that I can pull out and cook and slice up for whatever purpose. I also grabbed myself some of the sliced American style cheese instead of the Mercy Valley, whatever the cheese that I normally buy is. I grabbed this one instead because I just wanted some sliced cheese, because I bought those croissants and things like that. Much the same price, but I only ever buy 1 sort for myself. But I will freeze this in packs and it'll last me quite a few shopping trips, that one. I bought a pack of frozen potato chips because I bought an air fryer. So I was with the Jackery, there's a few things that I want to give a go on. I was looking at a bunch of air fryers, but they were all pretty expensive for something that I'm not going to use particularly consistently. But this one was on special for $60 at Costco, and it's a 6.7 litre, so it's a good size. So I bought this to give a go on the Jackery. It might make some really quick, simple things like chips, or for reheating like our buttermilk chicken or things like that. It might work really well, so I'm going to give that a go. I also bought these waffle makers. Now, the twins have been asking for waffles for quite a long time, and I look at them when they're for sale, the pre-cooked ones at Costco, but they're just so expensive for the quantity we'd need. With the Jackery, we can do some more kitchen appliances, and I thought that these little mini ones, they're both 500 to 600 watts each, so I could run 2 of them, and they make those little single individual ones. I thought that this might be neat for the kids to do with me, sort of a thing. I got this garlic bread was free from the butcher. It was if you spent over $50 you got 2 free garlic breads, so I'll grab them, someone will eat them. I got a box of grapes. The grapes were not overly cheap. I think it was $35 for the box, and there's what, like 10 bags in there, so it's not expensive, not excessively cheap either, but there wasn't a lot of choice this trip, because yesterday was public holiday, which I hadn't realised when I planned the trip, otherwise I would have gone a different week. So short week with public holiday meant that his cold room was pretty empty and there just wasn't a whole lot there. So grapes were an option that were at a decent price. I got tomatoes. I got 3 boxes of tomatoes. They were only $15 a box, so $1.50 a kilo. I got 4 trays of mangoes because, again, we were limited choice what we could buy. These were only $10 per tray, so a really good price, so I bought 4 of those. Alright, let's get this put away and we will get the rest of the stuff out. Alrighty, last table. We got a box of bananas. Again, these weren't overly cheap, but they were, I think it was $40, so that's fine. Box of corn. This was $10 for the box of corn. I don't know how many's in here, but it's a good price for the corn. Green apples were what were on special. I don't know what I paid for them, actually. Not sure. But the green apples were the cheap ones, so I got a box of those. The frozen veggies of choice from Coles that I like, as well as some just straight corn kernels to use in some chowder and some pot pie and stuff. I got some wonton wrappers. This is the, as I said, the Coles udon noodles. They only had 3 packets of it on the whole shelf, which is why I got the Aldi ones to try as well. Mind you, Aldi only had 3 on the shelf as well. So the other thing I couldn't get was corn chips. I went to 2 different Coles and neither of them had the Coles brand corn chips that we prefer, so no corn chips this trip. I also got some of the High Smile toothpaste. Now, I've been looking at this online because it's got the pump action to put the toothpaste on your toothbrush, and I reckon the kids might go through it slower. But it was half price at Coles, so it was only $6 a tube. They only had the 2 flavours, watermelon and mint, but I thought I'd give them a go. I bought 2 of the rolled pork roast that I always buy, $7.99 a kilo. You can buy a case of these from Costco, which is 3 of them, and you get a discount. But it used to be $1 per kilo, and now it's only 50 cents a kilo. So 2 works well. I got the pomegranate juice that Sonnet was requesting to make grenadine for her KiwiCo crate experiment. Beef trim, the box was wet and had some blood on it, so we pulled it out of the box. But the beef trim from Costco, so this is what they make their own mince from. And I buy it by the case, which ends up costing $9.99, the same as the mince, but it comes vacuum sealed like this. This one was a big box, it was 25 kilos worth. You get whatever you get, and this happened to be 25 kilos, so it's considerable, but we'll manage. We got no mince left, so it's good. I got some white wine vinegar and some rice wine vinegar as well, and that was everything. Oh, the other thing is that when I was at Costco, they had these winter pajamas, the bodysuits like this, on special for 20 bucks each, and I eyed them off because I generally buy the kids winter pajamas around about Easter time, which is a couple of months away, but these were $20 on sale. I didn't have the cash to buy them at this shopping trip, so Mum decided she would treat the kids to these pajamas. So yes, Sonnet has the panda and all the boys have the dinosaurs, and I'll have to find something surreal something online because they didn't go up to adult sizing. Darryl apparently wants something from online too, so you know, we'll get there. So that was everything this month. Alrighty, so in total we spent $2,327.34, but there is some, you know, things within that weren't really to be included. For a start, I renewed my Costco membership, so I decided to upgrade to the executive Costco membership, which cost me $135. But by doing that, I get 2% back for every shop. And so the guy at the counter was talking me through what would need to be spent and what would equate to. And you only need to spend $514 a month on average to pay for your membership. So it means that by next year, when my next membership's due, I will have enough paid back that membership will be free. Plus probably a bit extra to put towards that shop in January, which is always handy because January is a short month. So that would be nice. I decided that was worthwhile doing. So that cost me $135 off that 2.3, which left me with 2.192. I also bought an air fryer, as you saw, which was $60, which isn't really a grocery thing. So that brought me down to 2.132. So if I break that 2.132 down, then that equates to $355 a week, or $50 a day, or $16.92 per meal, or $2.11 per person per meal. I'll put my usual graphic up on the screen to break that down so that you can see that. Now, there was also a purchase of beef in there that was higher than normal. So I bought the beef trim that I always buy at Costco, and you just buy it by the case and you get whatever the case is. And this month it was a 25 kilo case. So that was $250 worth of beef, and I wouldn't normally buy that amount. Like if I was just buying the trays, I'd normally only buy 2, so I'd normally buy $80. Or the boxes that I've bought previously have been around about the 12 to the 16 kilo mark, so 120 to 160. So this was a little bit more, which is fine. I will mince the beef up, I'll vacuum seal it, and it'll go in the freezer, and I won't need to buy beef for the next couple of shops. But that was a little bit of a big chunk of cost in this month's groceries. So I ended up spending the $14.82 at the Costco, less the $135 and the $60. I spent $184.85 at Coles, $310 odd at Aldi, $223 at the fruit and veg, and $133.20 at the butcher. So I'm pretty okay with that. I stayed within my normal 6 weekly budget. Yes, I was trying to go a little bit lower this month because we were a bit short on cash, but it is what it is, and this is what we ended up spending, and it still ended up the $2.11 per person per meal, so it's still within the scope of what we spent. And I've also got beef for the next couple of months, so you know, you just have to look at it that way sometimes too. Fruit and veg were a little lacking this month, as I said, because of public holiday. It was a short week, and then when I went, he hadn't been to the market that morning because it was a Saturday, and you know, that's fine. But yeah, so if you're interested in seeing how I use all the food and what we do with it all, come join us for the next videos. There'll be another one in a couple of days' time, and we'll start working on all the food and showing you how it gets used and all that kind of thing. Now, there was a fan running of an inverter behind me just then, and hopefully it wasn't too loud, but I will try and make sure that it's blocked out if need be, and I'll come back out and record if I have to. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next video.